Welcome to the Crafter School Special from Wood Library. I'm Mary Ferris, the Children's Librarian, and this is a program we do once a month showing you how to make some fun craft things at home. This is a program that's especially for school-age kids, kindergarten through about 5th grade, and today we're going to be making box puppets. So let me first tell you about the materials that you'll need. You're going to need a box, strange as that may sound. I'm going to be using a tissue box today, but you can use any kind of box. You could use a cereal box. You can use a shoe box. You can use a juice box. Any kind of box is fine. You're going to be needing some paper. So I've got some construction paper here. You're going to need some cardboard strips, and this is just some cardstock that I had. And I cut it into strips about 1 inch wide. These are a little longer than I'm going to need. I think I'll only need about 4 inches, but you're going to need 2 of those. And you're going to need some duct tape. From home, you're also going to probably want to have some utensils like pencil, pen, markers, a glue stick, and a pair of scissors. So first of all, choose your box. Take a look at it. If it's one that's open, you may want to seal it up on one side. That's what I did with the cereal box, because I really want either the top or the bottom, or the front or the back, I guess you would call it. So with my tissue box, I'm going to be leaving this side, and this side, top and bottom intact. The part where the tissue comes out is what we're going to get rid of. I find it easier to start by cutting up to the corner, so that I can have a piece that I can lift up, and then I can get right close to the folded edge to cut it out. Just like that. You're going to do that around all 4 sides. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is going to be the back of your pup. Those are pieces I don't need, so I'm going to toss them out of the way. So there's my box. Next, I'm going to take a look at it and decide what kind of a mouth I want for my box puppet. Do I want it to have the top and the bottom be the same? Or do I want it to have either an overbite, which is what this one is, so his teeth can show, or an underbite, which would be like that. For mine, I'm going to make it be equal. So I'm going to try and find the center of my box. If you have a ruler, you can measure it. Otherwise, you can, what they say, eyeball it. And you're going to want to make a cut right in the center. If you're going to have an overbite or an underbite, you're going to move that center cut line down a little bit. But I'm going to do it right in the middle. And since I didn't bring a ruler, I'm just going to eyeball it. If you want, you can always draw a line so that you can cut along on both sides. So that's where you're going to be doing it, here and here, on the 2 long sides. So once you've made your cuts, you're going to fold your box in half. Don't want to be doing a commercial for the tissue company, but you're going to fold it back like this. And if you cut it so that it's equal on both sides, it should set up just right. Mine didn't, so he's going to have a little bit of an off bite. But what you'll do is then pinch along that fold. I think it'll make mine a little more interesting if it's off center like that. So he's going to be kind of grinding his teeth. Next, what you're going to want to do is to fill in the mouth. So with some of your construction paper, what you can do is you can set the paper down, take your box, and you're going to want to fill the entire mouth. So I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to trace right around that box bottom. Don't know if you can see it. And then I'm just going to cut it out. And set that paper aside. Then I'm going to attach that right on my box bottom. So you can do that with your glue stick. I'm going to turn it over so I can press it from the inside and get it to stick all the way across that bottom. Just like that. Now you can use any color you want. You can give your puppet a crazy looking inside. I tried to match mine to the box itself. And then fold it again and press real hard so that you've got your mouth all set. Now, in order to make your puppet work, you could use it just like this, but it's a little easier. I'm going to turn mine around so you can see inside. If you put the strips of cardboard inside, and that's where you can put your fingers. So you're going to have a bigger one up at the top for your fingers and a smaller one in the bottom for your thumb to be in the mouth like that. So find those strips that were in your pack, if you got packed from the library. If not, as I said, you're going to look for something that's about 1 inch wide and about 4 inches. This one is way more than I need, so I'm going to cut some off. And then you're going to use duct tape because we want it to be very strongly held in there. So get your duct tape, cut off a piece. I cut mine ahead of time. I cut a piece about maybe, again, 4 inches long. And I only need about a half a width of it. So I'm going to cut into it. And if you've got really good scissors, you can cut all the way, but mine usually gets stuck, even if they are good scissors. And one of the fun things about duct tape is it's tearable and it tears straight. So this could be loud, but I'm going to pull. And now I've got 2 pieces, the exact width that I want. You're going to want to have 4 pieces of tape. So they will be 1 for the top on this side, 1 for the top on the other side, 1 for the bottom on this side, and 1 for the bottom on the other side. So take your strip that you've got that's going to be your finger hold, and you're going to want to bend it a little bit. Bend it first one way, and then you're going to want to bend it back on itself. So you're just kind of curving it first, and then you're going to make a fold. So it's kind of going to look like that. And then take your piece of duct tape, place it right on your strip like that. And then put your strip inside your box, right about on the edge. Now remember I said the longer one, the one with more space, is going to be for where you put your fingers, so that's going to be the top of your puppet's head. And I'm just taping it right in like that. And then I'm going to make a little loop, a little hump, and tape the other side in. And duct tape will stick to you a lot, so you may want to have somebody hold your piece down while you put the tape on it. So now I have a little loop there I can put my fingers in. And then I'm going to want to do the same thing on the bottom. You could probably put them both in at once, but it gets a little tricky with the duct tape. So take one of your other strips. Mine dropped on the floor. Strips of duct tape. You're going to want to curl your cardstock and then make a fold. And this one I'm going to put in, make the folds a little bigger because I only want to have room for my thumb. So you can see I made it a little bit bigger. It's like that. And that'll be big enough for my thumb to fit in. So I'm going to put tape on it again, just like I did last time, right close to that fold that I made in it. And then stick it inside. And I'm actually going to want to angle that just a little bit. So I'm going to cut a little bit off. And the other piece. And I don't need it quite this long because I don't want it to overlap too much on the other side, the one we've already got in there. And I'm just trimming it because I had a little bit of excess. There are my two pieces of cardstock that I've curled. And now I can put my fingers in one side, my thumb in the other. So now my puppet can talk. And then the last thing you need to do is just decorate it. Now with my original one, that was the way my box was. It had a very nice design. This one has a nice design on it. The only reason I decided to go with polka dots on it is it had the logo for the company on it, and I didn't want to call him Kleenex. So I punched some holes or some big blue dots and put those all around, having some overlap the corners and the edges, so it looked like he had blue freckles. So you can decorate your puppet however you want. There's some white paper that I included in your packet so you can make eyes. If you don't want to cut eyes or you can't cut them perfectly round yourself, although that looks kind of fun, you can always use something as a model. So you could use something like a K-cup or a orange juice bottle lid, anything that's round, and then cut around that. And then you can either make some black ones or you can color it in using a marker. I also, with the white cardstock, I used a small piece and made some teeth for him. And then I also gave him some hair, just to make him look a little funky. So you can decorate yours however you want. And then give him a name, because one of the fun things about making a puppet is actually doing a puppet show with it. So come up with an interesting name. This is, I should have come up with a name. What do you think he should be called? Well, maybe we'll come up with names for it, but that's all you have to do in order to make yourself a box puppet. I would love to see a picture of you with your box puppet to see how you decided to give him some personality. How many eyes did you give him? Does he have teeth? Does she have crazy hair? Does she have stripes? You can also use crayons or markers. You could actually cover the whole box if you wanted to, so that you didn't have to go with whatever is on the box itself. So if I was to make one using this one, obviously, I would cover up the name of the tissue brand. So send me a picture of what you've made and have fun with your box puppet and put on a puppet show for your family. You might be surprised at how much fun it is. This was a recycled craft. The only thing I had to buy for you for it was, well, your snack and the duct tape. But I bet most of you have that sort of thing around at home. So have fun. And we'll see you next month with another Crafter School special here at Wood Library.